An unprecedented new consciousness is transforming the entire human species. A new world is being born. The old world is disintegrating. Both worlds now call to you. Do you want to live in gratitude, patience, contentment, and awe of the universe? Or in anger, worry, overwhelm, and despair? This podcast will help you choose joyfully and effectively. Welcome. Compassion is being moved to and by acts of the heart. How can you create that? How can you make that happen? How can you be in touch with your heart when you're angry? How can you be compassionate when you're depressed? How can you be compassionate when you feel superior and entitled, or you feel inferior and you're needing to please? In all of these difficult situations, how can you be moved to and by acts of the heart? And what is compassion? As you learn how to create authentic power, you will naturally learn compassion. You won't have to learn what it is or take notes about it. It will emerge in you. Creating authentic power is aligning your personality with your soul, with those parts of you that want harmony and cooperation and sharing and reverence for life. How can you align your personality with your soul? There's only one way that you can. Find those parts of your personality that are not aligned with your soul, that do not want harmony or cooperation or sharing or to revere life. Experience them fully, get to know them intimately, and then, when you can recognize them, challenge them by not acting on them, by acting instead from parts of your personality that are aligned with your soul, with parts of your personality that are healthy and beneficial, with parts of your personality that create constructive and blissful consequences when you act on them. Acting from the other parts of your personality, the parts of your personality that are not aligned with your soul, create painful and destructive consequences. So for shorthand, let's call the parts of your personality that are not aligned with your soul parts that originate in fear, frightened parts of your personality. These are the parts that you experience as anger, resentment, jealousy, vengeance, superiority, inferiority, every kind of compulsion and every addiction, whether it's to drugs, sex, alcohol, whether it's workaholism, whether it's shopping or gambling. All of those are experiences that come from parts of your personality that originate in fear. And the parts of your personality that originate in love are the parts that you experience as gratitude and appreciation and patience and caring and awe at the universe. As you learn how to distinguish between these two parts of your personality, let's call the latter parts loving parts of your personality, you are able to choose between them. In order to be able to choose between the loving parts of your personality and the frightened parts of your personality, you need to be aware of them as they are active in your body. That's where emotional awareness comes in. As you develop emotional awareness, and this is part of creating authentic power, you'll discover that when frightened parts of your personality are active, such as when you're angry, jealous, resentful, vengeful, depressed, manic, that when you check in, when you put your attention into certain parts of your personality, the physical sensations you find there are painful. They really hurt. And it's not feelings like sad or lonely. They are physical sensations like getting your finger accidentally hit with a hammer or caught in a car door. That hurts. That really hurts. And so does every painful part of your personality. But you have to learn to recognize them by experiencing those pains, so that when you recognize those pains and know that a frightened part of your personality is active, you can make the choice not to act on it. you can recognize that those experiences, that physical pain, those critical judgmental thoughts come from a part of your personality, not from the ground of your being. And you can choose to act from another part of your personality instead, a loving part of your personality. Now, here's the thing. As you develop emotional awareness and learn to experience somatically, that means in terms of your body, the frightened parts of your personality, you realize, you do more than realize, you experience how painful they are. Here's something else. Frightened parts of your personality all pursue external power. They all try to change the world the way it is so that they'll feel better and safe. Because underneath all of these painful emotions like anger and resentment and jealousy is a deeper pain. And all of these painful emotions are ways of masking that deeper and more intense pain. And that more intense pain is the pain of powerlessness, the pain of feeling inadequate or flawed, the pain of wanting to be loved, needing to be loved, and knowing that you're unlovable, the pain of wanting to love very much and feeling incapable of loving, the pain of not wanting people to know the way you are really inside yourself, because if they did, they wouldn't want any part of you. That's the pain of powerlessness, and it's excruciating. And every frightened part of your personality is distracting you from that pain with more pain, with the pain of anger, the pain of loneliness, the pain of despair, the pain of jealousy, the pain of rage, and it goes on and on and on. So, as you develop the ability to create authentic power, to align your personality with your soul, not only do you learn the joy, the blissful experiences, the constructive thoughts of loving parts of your personality, but you also experience the painful physical sensations of frightened parts of your personality and the pain of powerlessness beneath them. Now we come back to compassion. All of this has been so that you can begin to understand how you can develop compassion. As you create authentic power, compassion for other people and yourself develops naturally. It develops naturally in you because you see, you experience, you dive into the depth of the pain of the frightened parts of your personality, and still you have the commitment and still you have the courage to challenge them, to feel them, to step away and create a little bit of distance between you and what they are feeling, what you are experiencing while they are active in you, and challenge and choosing instead to act from a loving part of your personality. In that process, you know, because of the pain that you've experienced and are experiencing when frightened parts of your personality become active, how much pain everyone is in. And you see in the people around you, you see in your family, your classmates, your co-workers, you see on the street, people with these deep, painful experiences. And most of them don't know where they come from. Most of these people don't know how to distinguish between fear and love in themselves, how to recognize when a frightened part of their personality is active and when a loving part is active so that they can choose to act on the loving part and cultivate love and challenge fear. But you do, as you create authentic power. And as you see all of the people around you in pain continually, then compassion for them is natural, because you see that everyone has a path through the earth school that's as painful and difficult and challenging as your own. And you don't feel sorry for them, you feel compassion, because you feel that pain also. You know how to challenge it, and you feel even more compassionate because they don't. They divert themselves from it into belief systems that they hold like rigid bars of iron, that they beat other people over the head who don't have that belief system. They distract themselves from that pain with jealousy, with blaming the outside world for being the way it is and trying to change it. In other words, compassion is seeing yourself and others as souls who have sometimes frightened parts of their personalities active. That's where compassion comes from. When you develop the ability to create authentic power, and you are creating it, then you see yourself and others as souls. And like you, these other souls sometimes have frightened parts of their personalities active, and they're in deep pain. And that deep pain brings up compassion in you. And then you see the entire world is in this pain. And you are so grateful for the emergence of multisensory perception in you, perception that allows you to see the new understanding of power as authentic, not as ability to manipulate and to control. And as you see what lies underneath every painful, negative, destructive emotion, the pain of powerlessness, and you see the long road in front of you, but you see more than that. You see the beauty of where you're going, and now and then you glimpse it. A world of meaning, of purpose, a world that fills you with gratitude and appreciation and caring and patience. These are some of the experiences of authentic power, and compassion is one of them. Join me next time to explore the epic transformation of human consciousness that is reshaping our species and your part in it. It may surprise you. I'm Gary Zukav.